There was no air support here from 6 o'clock in the morning when the flames disappeared totally. The flames were out. There was no air support for about 4.5 hours. And as I said, at 9 o'clock I was on KFWB, 45 minutes later on KNX, and a half hour after that the DC-10 flies over. Right. Half hour later the wind picks up, becomes worse than this. And now the fire starts coming alive. You start seeing smoke over there, flame. When it made its run, I mean, it's a firestorm. The firestorm could have been put out, it could have been stopped. There was no air. And as I said, the guys were telling me during the night, there was no air in La Cañada to speak of, and that's why the thing even came this far. So now we have a fire. But the main thing is, by not responding when they could have put the fire out, this fire started here and ran for the next 2 weeks. And these guys were killed up in this hill. Right? That's Mount Gleason over there.
Yes.
That only happened because the fire made a run. And it wasn't pounded. They didn't do anything. So they left their guys without air cover.
So Chief Freeman then, essentially the chief of LA County Fire, is the culprit? Or?
I don't know that there is anybody in the fire department that is a culprit. I don't know that I don't think it's that low on the totem pole. I think this is a financial decision. I think it's made way up in the rarefied air we know nothing about. The night before this fire, Rancho Palos Verdes had flying at night. When have you seen them fly at night? Rancho Palos Verdes. This is Acton. That's La Cañada. This is Forest. It's not Rancho Palos Verdes. I wouldn't blame a chief. I don't think the fire guys are the best we have. They left their own guys out there naked. So I don't think it's a chief. I think it's higher. This is national forest. It belongs to everybody in the country. All the wildlife that we lost, the plant, everything belongs to everybody in the country. That's federal. The Forest Service was here. They were hamstrung because LA was running it. The investigation would be for them to find out who was in charge of the fire that didn't provide air support that ended up causing this fire to go to 250,000 square miles. Who did that? 250,000 acres. Who did that? That's what they have to find out. And can it happen again? Yeah, right now this can happen again. Right now this is going to happen again because every square inch of California is going to burn. And if this is mishandled like this again, more people are going to die, more property lost, more animals lost. And firefighters are on the front line. And you know, we're over here with our own fire units. We have a camaraderie with the fire guys. The firefighters are our friends. You know, they're out there like Marines hitting a beachhead without air support. You don't do that to the Marines. So you don't do that to the firemen. That's why I want an investigation.
With 1,500 animals here, how long would it take you to evacuate them all, if in fact you had to?
No, we cannot evacuate. That's why if you take a look at the place, we have defended against fire. We've cut back everything. We have fire lines everywhere, real fire lines, our own fire truck. We're getting a second one. We have knocked down fires here before. I mean, the one May 16th over at the rehab center was moving on us over there. We were here before the county.
The Crown Fire 5 years ago, which started right up the road. Did that bother you?
Crown Fire, and this is Forest Service ran this. Crown Fire. We have a huge pond over there. And at one point, 9 helicopters were in holding. 1 in our pond, taking our water, 8 more in a holding pattern. The whole first day of the fire, our pond was their 100% water source. So they got the water from our pond. It started right out here, and they put it out. They just kept moving it like this. So they protected our whole place. Everything is not burned in here. If you go to the other side of the mountain, everything is burnt. And that's because they had the water to do it. And they acted on it. The day this was going on, we called it in. It was on the scanner. We told them, hey, we have a pond. Use the water. They never touched it because they didn't fly. The cold fire with an e-ductor, you shove that in there and it picks that up and throws it out. And that cold fire takes the heat out of the flame. So if you had a fire extinguisher full of it, squirt your animals in a barn fire even, and they won't get the heat. One side does it shorter and closer, and the other one does it longer. That's part of the thing. So you're getting the range out of one, and you're getting the close stuff out of the other.
There we go.
They used to tell us stories about when the kids' school was across the street from the whorehouse back in the mining days. And so I said, well, this is the best little cat house in Acton now.
Like the sluice boxes.
Sluice boxes.
Sure.
Hey guys, let's take a quick peek at how our cats live.
How many cats do you have?
About 600.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you remember, if you were around back then, but Richard Moore, this was his room. He was the guy who drew Winnie the Pooh for 25 years.
Is that right?
Right out of this room in here.
From here?
Right in there. When I first came here, Richard Moore had his thing and Winnie the Pooh boards all over.
Wow.
So these are the cats who live in Winnie the Pooh's house.
Uh-huh, I guess so.
Hey, you guys.
Now who takes care of these? I mean, this is a...
Oh, yeah, no, we have a big operation. It's like 70 employees altogether.
Oh, yeah,
There's
I should
about
say.
35 or 40 every day.
Yeah.
Between the... I'll take you in the hospital real quick. Maybe the vets and everything. Yeah, you gotta hang. Posture.
Oh. How do you do?
Posture. John's Dr. Brown.
Hi, Dr. Brown. How do you do?
John runs our,
If I'd have known that
John Joyce, yeah, you would
I
have...
was being photographed today, I would have worn my
you see, now here's what you have to understand. Starting now, you're a celebrity.
So now I have to watch what I
now
wear.
You have to,
I have to get my hair cut.
be careful what you do in public. Because in that TV show I told you that.
Yeah, that's... congratulations. Worldwide TV show. That's pretty good.
You know, it's funny, none of my kids had time to watch it, but everybody on the block that I live has been coming up to me and said, hey, I saw you on TV this Saturday. So I guess the time slot isn't conducive to the young people. It's perfect for our demographic.
Yeah, that's all we care about is our demographic.
Exactly, because my college-age son, when he heard about it, and he goes, oh, I'm off doing, of course he was off doing something.
Sure.
4 o'clock on a Saturday, you're not going to have a 19-year-old college kid sitting home watching TV.
No.
No, it's us with the beer say it's too hot. It's too hot.
There is a real concern with coccidiomycosis with these recent fires, because coccidiomycosis is a fungal infection that is spread by spores that are actually in the soil.
Sure.
It's indigenous to the valley here. It's actually known as San Joaquin Valley fever, so it's very common up in the northern part of the state.
Sure.
But when you denude the vegetation, like we've done here with these recent fires, the wind sweeps across that and picks up a lot more dust. We're going to have a lot more probability of having coccidiomycosis.
Okay.
So animals that we have here that are showing respiratory signs, we're adding that to a routine protocol to do a blood test to make sure that they haven't been infected. It's not a real common disease, but when you're talking about numbers as low as 1 to 2 per 10,000 people, if it raises to 4, you've got a double incidence, but it's still a very low number. But
sure.
Certainly it's something to let your readers know about if they're, if they're getting a fever, a non-productive cough, and just a feeling of general malaise.
Sure.
But it will almost always show up as respiratory signs.
Really?
So it's definitely worth considering and mentioning it to their doctor, because sometimes the physicians have things that they know are indigenous to the area, and that can get kind of put off testing for. But the sooner it's diagnosed, the easier it is to take care of it. Very treatable if caught early, but if in the very later stages, it's a bear.
It's a bear, that's right. I'm familiar with valley fever, that's right. Thanks for bringing it up.
Okay,
Never thought of it, yeah.